Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, what we're going to talk about is a couple questions that I've received from subscribers, clients, questions that could have been down, that were in my DM message box and different things that were coming through. So these two questions were somewhat similar, so I am going to address them both. But they're kind of similar, so I thought it would be a good one to actually do a video on. So without further ado, let's get started. And just before we do, note your questions below, guys, because I might actually pick those questions up in terms of being highlighted in my next video that I do. Okay, I think this is helpful on your journey. I know it would have been helpful for me, so this is something that I am wanting to do just for you. So this is going to relate to my channel and my modalities that I use in my work. I'm a coach first, and then I also do readings, and I bring in different elements because I think that it's important to have not only the strategy side, but also have the soul side and bring them both together. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's talk about the first question that I got. Now, this was only about like 18 hours ago. Okay. So this is from Kochiku. Okay. Clever name. All right. So it says here, this Capricorn would like just 5 minutes free from obstacles, blockages, conflict, and adversity. Whew. Now, there's a lot of momentum behind that. Okay. Now, in all readings from everyone, it seems that we're on the same perpetual state of any time now. Okay. I'm definitely not criticizing the readers. Of course not. I'm just perplexed as to why this is our constant message and why ever chose to be a Cappy. I get that we're all here to evolve, etc. But still, exclamation point. So, I mean, I can sense a little bit of frustration there, which is totally fine, totally fine. And so this was off obviously the Capricorn video, one of my Capricorn videos. So, here's the first thing that I kind of want to remind you of, and I think that this is the first thing that comes into play here. The big thing to remember is that tarot is definitely used as a tool, right? It's among many elements that we can definitely use, but they are a brilliant tool. Okay. And this is why I love them so much. I think I've got my first read when I was actually, maybe 16, and it was something that I did that myself. I actually saw a friend's mother who actually got a reading, and I came intrigued with it. So, but any event, so it is a tool, and it's a brilliant tool to see a little bit beyond our emotional responses, right? So the biggest thing to keep in mind is that it is a tool to help us reflect on making any sort of decisions in life. And they're never intended to make the decisions for us. You see the difference there, right? So one thing you always hear on my channel, and you guys have heard me many times before, you never give your power away to a reader. You've got your free will, and it's important that you use your free will and not give that to any reader. So to get back as to, I want 5 minutes from obstacles, blockages, conflicts, and adversity, what comes to mind is the law of polarity to me. And there's, 12 laws of the universe. And this is actually one of them. And the law of polarity really talks about that there's two poles that exist on either end, right? And this is really about the opposite exists within the universe. So I think for every blockage that you see, that is coming through here, there's also a free flowing passage, right? For every obstacle that is here, there's opportunity, right? There's an advantage of some sort. For every conflict, there's an opportunity for agreement to be presented. And through every adversity, there are good times present in life. So it's just about where you're focused in on, right? So if you look at the polarities between that, and notice they're on the same stick, just kind of like hot and cold. It's still water, but it's still the same thing, right? So, one can't exist without the other. So I want you to remember that, and focus in on the attraction of vibrating on the direction that you want rather than what you don't want. Okay. And I know that it sounds simple, right? It's simple. It is, right? But is it easy? No. It can be, and what I mean by that is that you just can't jump from one side to another. It is about a gradual shift, right? So even in the temperature of the water, as the example, that it takes a gradual shift. It gets easier. It's kind of like when you work out, right? It's kind of like your muscle's not going to change overnight. It is a gradual momentum to hit that. So, and I say that it's not easy because you're not just going to hop over there, right? But you can do it. You can do it. And especially if you focus on more of what you want. So here's where the law of attraction comes into play, right? So this is where you start vibrating and emanating that. So here's the steps that I think that might help you in this process, okay? So the first thing to remember is that in order to create change is to accept the current situation. So you're seeing that the fact, oh my gosh, that it's like any time now, and why does this constant message keep coming through? Well, perhaps it's an opportunity to show you what it is that you don't want, so you can focus in and create a better reality on what you do want. So it's showing you right in the face, right? And that's one way to look at it, okay? It's a reminder for you to, to ask yourself a few questions. But before we get into those questions, it's important to accept the current situation, right? So that's the first thing, accept the current situation, because it's happening, right? So you see that it's happening, you're acknowledging it in your question here. And when you accept it, that's good, because you're not pushing it away and bringing more of it in, okay? So that's the thing. Don't push it away, because it's about just accept that this is happening, and so it is, right? Because the situation can get worse if you try to deflect it and you focus on what you don't want, right? The next question is to ask yourself, what is this negative situation teaching you, or what is this situation teaching you? And just like I mentioned, it might be showing you the fact of what you don't want, so you can get closer to what you do want. And so it's showing that message up in that way. Okay. It's kind of like, what is it that you want to experience? So ask yourself the question, what is it that you want to experience? For this particular person, it's about, I'd like, a sense of of agreement. I would like free flowing opportunity. I'd like to, rather than have, adversity, I'd like to be focused in on, being present, having good times in life. So now it's about moving towards that direction, right? So ask yourself, what experience do you want to experience? What do you want to experience instead of that, right? And then what's its opposite polarity? And I pointed those out just in the read. I mean, in the explanation. So once you do that, it's a mental shift to focus in on what it is that you do want, right? That you set yourself up for a desired outcome. The third step is to focus your thoughts on the solution, okay? And really think about, well, what steps can I take to move into that direction, right? What does that look like for me? Some of you can do, I know personally what I do is I do whether breathing exercises, I change my state, I might go out and walk in nature, I might go do a workout or do meditation, I might listen to my favorite music, I can focus on any sort of visualization, so to speak, especially in hypnotherapy in my work. I focus on that. So, it's really about having a starting point, in mind for, to start from for your desired outcome. And don't talk about or don't think about the bad experiences. Now, I know that's where the hard part comes in, because we're not evolutionarily wired for change, right? Because our subconscious mind loves repetition. So this is what I mean by strengthening a different way of thinking and doing. It's going to take some time. It just doesn't happen like that. When someone waves some sort of magic line, it just doesn't happen like that, right? So this is about really focusing on the steps that are the thoughts and the solutions that you need to consider to create change and move it towards what it is that you want. So, and then number 4 would be, don't talk about, again, the bad experiences. you're moving forward right now. You're moving towards the opposite pole. You don't have time to focus on the old way of being or doing or thinking or writing it out, right? So create a new mental picture of what it is that you want. And your role is to stay in that vibration, right? Not how it's going to happen or not when it's going to happen, right? So a next step that you can help you is to focus on gratitude, because that can be a starting point. And have gratitude for everything that you've accomplished so far in your life, and you've accomplished a lot. So everyone's accomplished something. So to make a list of what you achieved so far, and for the process that you're undertaking. So gratitude for this opportunity, for this process to move yourself forward, and then get ready to act with positive thoughts and that moves you in the right direction. And taking action. It could start with, affirmations. It could start with, inspired action, having go-to affirmations that's going to help you shift that mindset, within that. So get ready to act with moving in towards the right situation, the right opportunities. And if you find yourself going to that other side, catch yourself and keep trying to bring yourself back over, because again, it's like strengthening a muscle. It's going to take some time to make that happen. But it's going to move in that direction, and it's become easier and easier till almost becomes automatic, right? And that's how it works. So that's something to keep in mind. So you might want to even look up, that's some situations that these are steps that you can kind of follow through with, and hopefully that has answered your question. Now, the second question that I got from another subscriber was, I'm just curious on how it's possible. This is from DesStar11. Just curious on how it's possible that a past person can still show up and dominate almost every read amongst the majority of tarot readers here. It's been way past a year now, and it just won't go away. I'm interested in what's going to happen for me, not for them. LOL. And that's why I moved, because the secrets and the sneaky behavior. Yay to this new person coming, though. Blessings. So this person is a really, it's this really positive outlook. But here's the thing. They have this curious mindset, which is, that's the thing to be, is to be curious, what's happening. So why are the past person showing up in the dominant reading? Very similar to what I've mentioned within the other question, which is there is an opportunity for something to show up of what it is that you don't want, so you can become clear on creating the thoughts, the actions, and the momentum towards what it is that you do want, right? And that could be very, very key. So the same situation can apply in terms of taking those same steps, accepting the current situation of what is showing up, and asking yourself, what do you want to experience instead? And what is the opposite of what I'm experiencing? What do I want to achieve? And then focus more in that direction. Okay. Sometimes it takes taking a step back, from a situation, from reads, from all of that, right? And to check in with yourself on what it is that you would like to feel, and what could be the starting point for that, right? So focus your thoughts on what it is that you do want, and just let the others just bounce off and keep moving towards what it is that you do want. Just keep checking in with yourself. You get that one of those thoughts that move into that past person, just you're checking in yourself, and with time, it's just going to become stronger and stronger, and the momentum on the other side will become stronger, okay? It's just that your dominant, it looks like the dominant energy that is coming through of that of which you see is that of what's, could be of that past person, right? So there may be some, more timing that needs to come into play, and more action towards what it is that you do want. So again, it's all about focusing on, what you need to, what steps that you can take that moves you in that opposite polarity, right? So moving towards the now, what's happening for you now, because that's all we have, right? That's all we have. So if the past keeps showing up, then keep getting yourself in the present moment. And there's no better way to do that is to take a step out in nature, right? Focus on the breath work. Any sort of meditation can help you even break free from that. I've had some clients that have done that have really helped them considerably. And it's taking the time to put in those exercises and those types of practices into your day mindfulness is very key, that brings you to the present moment. Because keep in mind, all we have is now. And so the universe wants you to focus on now. Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now, right? So it's all about all we have is now, and another now, and another now, and another now. The past is already done. So it's about making the shift in changes of your thinking and inspired action that moves you to that vibration that gets you in the now, because that now is going to be your future, right? So you can't jump to the future because you're skipping the now, right? You can't. The past has already played itself out. You don't know what the future holds. So all you can do is to make the changes in the now that is going to help you in your future. Okay. So, focusing on gratitude, creating that mental picture of what it is that you want, be focused in on that. If you see something from the past, you shift and you move forward. Oh, but this is here to remind me of what I really do want. Right. So that is one way of looking at it. Right. And I'm not throwing in astrology or anything of the sort. I'm just throwing in terms of, things that you can help in terms of your mindset, and really focus on what you've accomplished so far, and know that you have the ability to create this change, and it's going to move you into that desired outcome, and just keep checking yourself. So just know that it's probably there for a reason to tell you, and ask yourself those questions. What do you want to experience instead? Maybe it's to find out what you want most in your life, and that keeps showing you on what that is. So put together values, put together your beliefs on what you want for the future, and that be your guide, right? Let that be your guide in terms of decisions. And it's not going to say that you're never going to go back to the past to think of that, but just take the wisdom with you, and realize and bring yourself back to the now. So I hope that this has helped you in some way, and note your comments below, guys. And again, note your questions below too, because I might pick out one of those questions and answer, and perhaps that could be helpful as a guidance tool for you. Okay. And perhaps, help you within this. Okay. So just like, tarot can be used as a beautiful, fantastic tool, for yourself. And, it can help you with your lives, but keep in mind, it was never intended to make decisions for you. You don't want to give your power away, because you want to be a participative, you want to participate in co-creating what it is that you want. You don't want to be at the default of someone else choosing for you, right? All right, I am sending so much love and light, guys. Let me know if this has helped you. Note all your comments below. I would love to hear them. Post your questions, and then we'll focus on a few on my next video. All right, until next time, namaste.